All right, thank you very much. Okay, so let's continue the conversation. Um,
Yeah, we were just wondering, what are the different political parties in Canada and the USA, and what do they stand for?
okay, thank you very much. Uh, so I think we should take it one by one. We'll look at the one in Canada first, and we can move to USA since, yeah, that way it's going to give us more clarity. So in Canada, I know if you have been following the news, you know we have Conservative Party, and we also have New Democratic Party. We also have the one in Quebec, they call Bloc Québécois. And we have some very unknown ones, like People's Party of Canada, Green Party of Canada, and I think there is Liberal Party of Canada. But I think the the most pronounced ones are the first three: the Liberal Party, the Conservative, and the New Democratic Party. So, uh, which if we go into the news, those are the people that you think in different provinces they are making waves. They are creating serious conversation among voters. So I think that if we look at the Liberal Party, generally they call them the left, uh, because their ideology uh, is is to the left. Okay, uh, so generally I think when they maybe the way they sit in the parliament, uh, some sit from the center right to the right. Those are the conservative. That's how they sit. The Liberal Party, from center to the left, and the NDP. They are the one they call the left ideologists. So uh, so I will try to focus on what they stand for, uh, which is majorly about their policies. So these political parties, if you look at the conservative, for example, they are majorly from that word conservative mean they are conservative, conservatism, lower taxes. They don't want government to send. They don't want government to spend too much money, so they follow reduced government expenditure. Strong. They are very strong on security, strong national defense. They advocate for families. They advocate for religious freedom, economic development, and yeah, those are key issues that an average conservative want to see on the table when they are making their decisions as a party. So, but when you look at the liberals, so they are more on social justice, uh, climate change, environmental sustainability, progressive taxation, uh, LGBTQ rights, especially in Canada, that's their core card, LGBT, universal healthcare. So so when you look at the conservatives that I mentioned earlier on, they want you to work for what you are earning. They want you to be responsible. So the more you work, you can control how much you earn, you can control uh, what comes in. But in the liberal system, it's more of universality, trying to make everybody to be on the same table, on the same plane. Um, Social justice, this is what they call social justice, which again aligns a lot with immigrants and people that are at the lower level of economic uh, landscape, because you feel that if they are going to make me to enjoy what millionaires are enjoying without working hard, why should I not vote for such a party? So that's what the Liberal Party stands for. That's the ideology: social justice, uh, progressive taxation, so that if you are earning very less, then you pay very less tax and things like that. So it's kind of getting a lot of return with little effort. So the people that are working hard or earning much, they don't like such a system because they feel that they are being robbed. So, so and apart from the other things I've talked about, LGBTQ rights and all of that. So, and maybe in line with social justice, they spend more money also on things like unnecessary wars, international peacekeeping, trying to go and do peacekeeping in Ukraine everywhere, even if your house is not settled. You get it. So, but the Conservative Party is conservative in their thinking, in their decisions, in the wars they get engaged in. Uh, you know, yeah, things like that. So the NDP, which is commonly in Canada now a very emerging platform for in the politics. So they prioritize social democracy. It's like it's not too different from Liberal Party, but their own opinion is about social democracy, environmental issues, and increased public spending on healthcare and education. So, which again is just like this Liberal Party in progressive taxation that I discussed earlier on. They want you to they want government to put more money in public spending on people, on the masses, on healthcare, on education, on things that favor maybe immigrants. So, and when you look at the landscape of Canada, for example, uh, uh, you know the majority of people in NDP, and you know that in a way can tell you a lot about why their policy is the way it is. You understand? So, uh, but the other two parties are not very common, but the Bloc Québécois is very common. It's a French party in Quebec, and it's majorly localized in Quebec. I don't hear much about them in Western Canada and other places that I've been to. So their focus is primarily on Quebec interest. So I know that Quebec have been advocating for provincial autonomy for a while. So their focus is to protect the French language and the French culture. So any policy that align with Quebec values, they will support it. So in a way, they whatever favor them, they support it. So if it's conservative that is pushing it, they support it. If it's NDP that is pushing it, they support it. So yeah, so they are not the majority, but if you want to win Quebec, then you have to tailor your policies to align with what that party wants, since they are advocating for Quebec interest. So you have to see how you draft that into your party decisions. And the last one, or the last two rather, Green Party. I think I talked about Bloc Québécois. I talked about Conservative and NDP and Liberal. So the Green Party is similar to the NDP and the Liberal in the sense that they also advocating for climate change, environmental issues, sustainability, natural resources, social justice, and equality. So the same thing that uh, other parties are supporting as well. The People's Party of Canada, PPC, uh, individual freedom, limited government involvement in people's life, nationalist approach. So the only thing is that the People's Party oppose immigration policies. Okay, uh, but and they feel that the size of government is too large. But again, they are not a major voice, so they are not a bone of contention in any election per se at the moment. So we find out that Green Party and People's Party mostly may disappear into NDP and Liberal Party in when it comes to major decision making. But yeah, if you're going to look at Canada as a land as a country, we will say that the three major parties, uh, even though we recognize that there are other ones, the three major parties are the Liberal Party, the Conservative, and the NDP. So that's that about that. Uh, do you have any question addition before I go to the one of USA?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that detailed explanation. Just wanted to know, is there a single country that, you know, policy all around. You know, you can see a little of liberal, a little of conservative, a little of green, just to educate our audience.
It's difficult to find a you won't find a party that combines all the values that, again, we are all human beings, and we have different choices, different desires, different things that appeal to us at different stages of our life. For the seniors, they may want something different from the younger generation. So you remember when the present prime minister was contesting several years ago, some of the things he was promising, like introducing marijuana and all of that to high schools and all of that, uh, which eventually we see everywhere now, people smoking and all of that. So you find out that people have different choices to make at different lives. So, and election is about people. So parties have to make their decisions based on what majority of people want. If you know that the majority of the population are young people, you want to tailor your policies to please the young people so that you can get their vote. If you feel that you have a lot of immigrants in the country and that are eligible to vote now, you want to please that demographic as well. So even though the politics of North America is a bit on ideologies, these ideologies changes slightly from time to time, but some things don't change majorly, maybe about religion and things like that. So, but in a nutshell, you find that there is no one party that combine all together, but you can find similarities across parties that can encourage collaboration in some provinces or in some regions. Like for example, now you find a lot of koinonia between Liberal Party and NDP, either at the national or the provincial level across the country. So because they overlap on social issues, progressive policies, social justice, environmental sustainability, climate change issues like that. So you find out that those two may easily align together to combine their views together to please the people. And you find that the Conservative Party and the People's Party may easily go along because they both emphasize economic policies, traditional values, immigration policies. They don't want people to just be coming to the country, So social issues like that, you find that Conservative and People's Party may align better. So, but because, take for example, on LGBTQ, Conservative Party will never agree on that. You get it? So that will be uh, out of their values. So they can combine all the things, everything that everybody is looking for in the country at the same time. So to cut it short, I think that we cannot find that party anywhere in the world. Where one party we have what everybody is looking for all over the country. But there can be alignment, there can be collaborations, there can be short-term marriages among political parties, just to make sure that they win election. Not because they are friends or they want the marriage to last. It's just to last until election is over. Pretty much. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the detailed clarification.
Okay. Thank you very much. So when we look at the United States, any other follow up on the first question on Canada, or we can move to US.
Yeah, we can move to the US now.
Okay,
Yes.
great, thank you.
Yeah.
So the same thing in the US, we have two major political parties that have dominated the political landscape for years. Even though there are also some small parties, but the present president in America is a Democratic, so that's Democratic Party. Then we have Republican Party. So the Democratic Party is like the synonym of Liberal Party in Canada. So the Democratic Party, that's what we have in US. Then we have the Republican Party, which is like the conservative in Canada. We call it Republican in the United States. And we also have the Green Party. So from the name Green, about environmentalist. So we have that in Canada. We have that in US as well. Then we also have the independents. So you remember that uh, I don't want to mention names, but a candidate came out recently to endorse Donald Trump. So he was the flag bearer for Independent Party. So, but the Independent, I put that for they are not for the Democrats, they are not for the Republican, they're just in the middle. So if anybody seems to share their views, then they can shift left or right at any point in time. So we have that group, Independent Party, and we also have the Libertarian Party. So these are people that believe that they just want to be free. You get it? They're classical people. They just want to be. They want minimal government intervention in their life on their economic matters. So they advocate for civil liberties, no intervention in foreign policy. They just want to be. So, but again, you don't find them in the majority of political decision making. I doubt if you find any of them as governors of any states in America. So, and we have the Social Party, uh, which is also a left party. So, what those ones are looking for is social ownership, economic democracy, social justice, inequality, workers' rights. So, again, from the word socialist, so it's like a socialist group, but they are not a majority to reckon with. So you find out that over the years you have found the Democratic Party, and the Republican Party, which again, now we are looking for a president in America, right? So there's going to be a an election next month. The major candidate that everybody's talking about is Democratic Party versus Republican Party, even though there are six parties. There are majorly two people that people are looking at as potential candidate for the office. So we try to limit our discussion to these two people today, based on what they what they stand for. So just to recap, for Democratic Party is left or center left, social justice, healthcare reform, environmental protection, progressive taxation, LGBTQ, civil rights, abortion, and things like that. So that government can also intervene in the economy. I mean, government can determine price of things. So that's what democracy is all about. So, but Republican Party does not believe in that. So they want free market. It's a majorly capitalist economy, lower taxes so that people can do business. So you find that Donald Trump has been saying that he wants industry to come to America, people to come and manufacture in America so that they can have made in America. So strong national defense, spend money on security, you know, uh, individual liberties. That's why the Republican Party stand for gun for people can have gun to defend themselves. So free market, capitalist economy, lower taxes, individual freedom, you know. So and limited government intervention as well. So, but they also strong on family values, very strong on the table for uh Republican Party. So yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what I can say about those two parties. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Just a quick one.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the two major parties in Canada and the two major parties in the United States, and what they both stands for. Could you so in relation to the US and then the Canada, which of these twos actually share the same values? I don't know if you get my question. So we
Not
have
very
the
well.
liberals and we have
We
the
have the
Republicans and we have the Democrats.
yeah, Democratic and Republican, yeah.
And the Republicans. So in terms of what the liberals stand for, is it the same as that of the Republicans or the Democrats? Or in terms of the conservative, are they the same as in the US, whether the Republicans or the Democrats?
Yeah, so Democrats stand for what the liberals stand for in Canada. which is the Liberal Party of Canada. They stand for what Democrats stand for. Conservatives stand for what Republicans stand for. Is that your question?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah. So if you
Thank
see
you so
the
much.
Republican, yeah, go ahead.
Just a follow up. So, I was just thinking, from that, idea that, the people rightly mentioned there's elections in the US this year, and I believe very soon. But there are some synergies. Does what the US sort of like influence what happens, like,
Yeah, no, um the two parties, the two countries uh depend on each other on too many things, or maybe Canada depends on US a lot on many things, not only in politics. Whatever happens in United States is likely to have a reflection on Canada. So so if you have been following the news in Canada as well, you find out that they they've been comparing the current candidate in Canada, Pierre Poilievre, to Donald Trump because they both share the same values. So if they hate a candidate in America, if it, if their candidate in Canada is also talking the same way as that person is talking, because take for example, they're talking about family. What conservative is talking about in Canada is what Republicans are talking about in USA, about family values, about uh, control abortion. Not that you can't do abortion, but it has to be on medically warranted reasons. Not just anybody can just do abortion, like the Democratic Party are advocating for. So you find that it can affect. And if Republican is in office in America, it can, if a Republican is in the office at the White House in America and a conservative is in office in the Prime Minister office in Canada, it can help their relationship. They can relate better. They can create policies that favor each other. But if you have a Republican in America and you have a Democrat in Canada, there could be some strange policies that may be put in place because they don't like each other, right? So, but because they don't, for example, if America is not supporting, if the person that win America does not support LGBTQ wholeheartedly, then and the person in Canada is supporting it, then they can't do some things together. They can't cooperate on some levels, and in fact, because of that, there could be some unexpected sanctions, some taxes, some just increase conditions that are not there before. So, but generally, there could be area they can agree. Maybe uh, progressive values. People want education, life to be better, climate change, health care reform. We want more doctors, more nurses, all of that. There could be some agreement. But on a very large scale, the politics in America affect Canada. To what extent, I may not be able to tell. But if the leaders in both countries, if a Democrat and a liberal person is in office, they tend to gel more. You find that Obama can come here because just introduce prime minister. They can easily smile at each other and all of that. But throughout Trump era, I don't think he came to Canada throughout his first time as president of America. I don't think he came because the person in the office they're not seeing things the same way. So yeah. So there could be some areas of tension, and there could be some area that everybody agree on in life, so they can cooperate on that. But business is not going to collapse. You get it. But there could be some implication. Immigration, if the person in America is very strict on immigration, it's going to affect Canada because they can say, okay, if you are, like for example, when Donald Trump was president, he will tell the neighboring countries that if you want to continue business in America, you must do this to the border. There must be a border. So on your own part, you must close this border. You must close this border. You must allow this fence to be put from here to here. So if you are not cooperating, then they can put on tariff on whatever is coming from your country. So things like that. So most countries, in order to, because take for example now, almost 90% or more of the oil that is produced in Canada is being bought by US. So if US say they're not buying oil for Canada anymore, where do they sell to? So in order not to have to allow unnecessary economic problems, they can just compromise and just agree. But there are areas where they can't bend, they won't be able to agree. So and such areas will cause some tension that people will suffer for them. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for clarifying the political parties in Canada and the US. So the next question that we have to save time is that, having known all these political parties, should Christians vote in elections?
Well, yeah, that's a bit difficult, but why we are not going to speak for anybody, just speaking the voice of conscience. As a Christian, you have a civic right and a civic duty to contribute to the good of your country. So I will say yes, Christians should vote. And while I'm not speaking for all Christians, but I believe Christians, as a Christian, I will vote. And any Christian that recognize that there is a citizen, they have a duty to participate in electoral decisions, then there's no way to do it by casting your vote. Voting means you are making a choice. That's from the root word of voting. It's a Latin word that means to make a choice. So it's like you're making a choice between candidates. So Christians should participate in that decision making to elect a leader. Though the Bible says we should pray for our leaders and all of that, we should submit to authority and all of that. So the Bible didn't say we should not vote. The Bible says we should give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So, and what belongs to Caesar is election. In election is to vote. That's what Caesar wants. Caesar wants us to vote, so we should vote. So, and the Bible supports that, I believe. So, yeah, Christians should vote. They should exercise that stewardship of decision making. And I believe also that if a Christian doesn't vote, you are not contributing to justice and compassion. Because if the righteous is in authority, the Bible says the people rejoice. So if you want to be a true Christian and you want a government that will defend the oppressed, a government that will care for the vulnerable, then you can only contribute to that by voting. So if all Christians vote for a leader that can make life easy for everybody, I believe Christians should vote. And if you are not voting, in a way, we are not being light of the world, because there's no way to be light of the world if we don't vote against darkness. So we can't fight. We can't support violence. So the peaceful way to support light to shine is to put our voice together and support and put light in place. So, and like I said, the only way to do that is to vote. So, and since we have religious freedom, if voting for a candidate and they have a policy that protects the freedom of Christians, it's also a way of, I believe it's a very serious spiritual effort you are putting in place, because what we'll have been praying about, through your votes, you can bring it to the table. So yeah, Christians should vote. Then that will affect every area of our lives and the community as well. So yeah, thank you. I'm not hearing you. Sorry.
Okay, so we go to the next question, which says, what political party should I join as a Christian?
Okay. What political party should I join as a Christian? Yeah, so from what I've explained, for example, I've explained the different parties in Canada, the different parties in the United States. So let's say, for example, now in Canada, because we are not voting for a party, I think maybe what party should I join? Let's start with that. So if you are able to join a party, what party should I join? So I would say that we should look for a party by the policy they are pushing. So if we look at the economic policy, if as a Christian you prefer that we should have lower taxes, then from what I've explained, the party that is supporting lower taxes is the conservative or the Republican. So if you want higher taxes, then that means if you favor that they should give higher taxes for the rich people, and they should be funding public services, be giving money to people, like a Christmas for everybody, then the party that support that as well. So I think we should look at the parties and the things they are pushing. So when we look at family values, we look at, okay, which party is supporting family, and which party is supporting somebody to abort pregnancies, which party is against it. So in a way, you are looking at the policies based on your own Christian conscience, and you are voting for what you feel is right by the policy because when you join a party, you are part of them. So if you want to say, okay, you are a conservative, you are saying that I believe everything a conservative party believes. So by saying that, you are going with the candidate that is going to be put forward by that political party. So which party should I join? Join the party that have a policy that supports a Christian view. There are many policies that each party has: social issues, economic policy, environmental policy, many things like that. But I think on environment, on economy, on business, and many things like that, agriculture, most political parties can say the same thing over and over. But there are some things that significantly separate political parties, which boils down to things on family, faith, and freedom. Family, faith, and freedom. So if you look at these policies, how it affects your faith, how the policy of a party affects your freedom, how it affects your family life, then maybe that will help you to be able to know, okay, this is a party to join, this is a party I don't want to join. So as a Christian, is conservative party is more Christian because they are advocating for family values, and in America that would be Republican Party. So that would be my response to the party that one should join. Okay, religious freedom, family values, which I believe is central to Christians, and so I don't want to speak for non-Christians, but I'm speaking for as a Christian. You want to support the protection of life. That life is a sanctity of life. You want to support that so that life can be protected, protect the life of babies, religious freedom, and equitable access to education and healthcare. So, yeah. So that's what I believe that a Christian should do when they come to choosing a party. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, that answers the question. To follow up on that, as a Christian, which candidate should I vote for in an election?
Yeah, it's similar to the question that we just answered now. So, if you want to vote for a Christian, of course, the candidate is not going to. It's not going to come and lead a church. So we are not voting for a pastor. We are voting for. Yeah. So, and we don't expect the person voted for to come and turn the whole country to Christian, to church, because it's not an evangelist. So it's to lead the people. So, but if you believe that people should lead in the fear of God, they should lead in the values that God, a moral God which is the God of the Christians, a morally upright God we support, then we look at the policy that the candidate stand for. So when you look at the candidates that cannot condemn the things that the Bible condemns, then irrespective of their political affiliation, if they don't hate what God hates, as a Christian, you don't want to support such a person, right? So you look at their values, look at their ethics, look at their life, and not just what they are saying because of election. What are they saying over the years? What has been their life, their character, their leadership style? So, and if we see honesty, humility, accountability, and things like that, those are things that we want to see in a public office. So there are Christians that don't have these kind of virtues and values. So, and there are Christians on both sides. There are Christians that are Democrats or liberals. So we also have Christians that are Republican, and we have Christians that are not Republican. But based on what we read in the Bible, based on what we know about God, God wants to settle people in families. That's what we read in the Bible. So we know that God wants people to honor their family. God wants us to have faith and worship Him and not be ashamed of Him. The Bible says, "I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ." So it's the power of God unto salvation to them that believe and to the Jews first, and then to the Gentiles. So if we are Christians and we want to ask for a candidate to support, let's look at their life. Let's look at what they stand for. Let's look at their policies. How does it affect family? How does it affect Christians? How does it affect immigration? Education, poverty alleviation. So do they support the things that the Bible supports? So, but if you see a candidate that wants to maybe do some things that we know that the Bible condemns outrightly, without listing those things, but we know what we know what those things could be, then we don't want to support such a candidate. Okay, but as a Christian, when you are voting, you are not just voting as a citizen, you are also determining the future of the country and the impact on the next generation. So you are supporting a person because it supports your views and your values as a human being, what you stand for as a human being, as a Christian. So do you support family? Okay, look for a candidate that supports family. Do you support freedom of speech? Look for a Christian that supports that. Do you support faith? Look for a candidate that supports faith. So, and when you talk about faith, it's not only Christian faith. So, but probably a party that want to remove God from the dictionary of a country, then as a Christian, I find it difficult to reconcile it that a Christian will vote for a candidate that is outrightly against the God that you live and serve and worship. So yeah, so that would be my take on that. That as a Christian, you want to vote your conscience, primarily speaking, and a conscience in the sense that you are supporting what is right. That is righteousness. Voting for the right, what you feel is right. So in the context of election, that is how to be a righteous person. You are voting for the right things, not voting for the wrong things because of the money you are going to get. Because you find that sometimes these days you find political parties grouping a particular race with some other ideologies just and give them money. So all of that, as a Christian, you have to watch very well to be sure that the party you are joining or the candidate you are supporting is in their policies and their ethics and character is in alignment with what the Bible says and with what your conscience is saying as well as a Christian. We need to walk our talk. That's my answer to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So yeah, just to wrap up, I would like to say that it's even a great opportunity and a great privilege for Christians to even have parties that are supporting Christian views. So is there a chance that if we Christians don't support these parties, these parties that support biblical views. Is it possible these parties go into extinction if they don't get enough support? Just to encourage people out there on the need to support these political parties that support Christian views.
I wouldn't be able to say that they can go into extinct, but into extinction, but they may not win election. You get it? Just like you have some other parties that we don't even know that they are existing, other than we know that they are registered with the government. So the only problem is that if the Christians are really serious and they want to live their faith in every facet of their life, including in electoral matters, then they should not be the ostrich head in the sand and be preaching about something, praying about something, and when it's time to vote for that thing, they are nowhere to be found. So, and the same thing they are praying against, they can accomplish it much more easily by casting their votes at the ballots. So yeah, so they may not go into extinction, but they won't win election. And when you are not winning election, how relevant are you? You become an opposition, which is again the thing that the church is doing generally worldwide. The church, majority church, the church is just praying about problems. That is like being the opposition, complaining on the defense. Whereas we should be the one doing the right thing. The Bible says that when the righteous is in office, the people rejoice. So why should we not make efforts through righteous electoral process and put the righteous in office so that everybody can rejoice, because that's what the Bible says. So yeah, so if you don't vote for them, they won't win, and they will not be represented in the decision making room when they go to the parliament. If the party that supports Christian views are not voted for by Christians because they are too busy in the church, or they don't want to vote because they feel that they don't want to be involved in the things of the world, then the church is going to have more prayer points and more problems to solve down the line. So, but if they believe that the Christian values can make the world a better place, then we should look for Christians that are in politics, that can do what they are promising and ensure they are in the office. If they are righteous, let us vote for them. Because according to the word of God, if they are in office, everybody will rejoice. Both the people that voted for them and people that did not vote for them. The Bible says that the people will rejoice. Everybody will rejoice. So that should be our goal, to vote as Christians and ensure that we are representing God. We are shining the light. We are being the salt of the earth. I don't know if that clarifies this question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Do we
Thank
have
you so much,
any
sir.
follow-up question? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I have one. And so thank you so much for clarifying these details. I was just wondering, you have rightly highlighted that different policies, yeah, really think or to see. Hello, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now. Yeah.
Can you? Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, I'm considering all differences in political ideology. I just wanted to what's the future for people who is willing to fight in the taking with it? He was able to continue through, through different brands, different teams, and his presence throughout all really, and, and just taking some in-depth look into what we're doing in the, and for somebody who really wants to what what's the future? What does the
Well, I would say the future is bright as long as there's life, there will be politics. As long as there's community, there will be need for leaders. So the future is bright. If a Christian is interested in politics, yeah, they should go for it. And for their survival in the current uh, political landscape, I will just limit it to what we have in North America because when we look at some other part of the world, it's not just politics they are playing, it's just something else. So, because politics, you have to be clear what you are doing, make it clear on the table, tell us what you want to do, then we can make a decision whether we want to vote for you or not. So, if a Christian find himself in a place like North America where it's a politics of ideology, not just politics of money and violence, but you know that if I have this ideology, I will talk to the people. If it resonates with them, they can vote for me. Yeah. So such a Christian should focus on the core values of their belief and their conscience. Because, take for example, a Christian should advocate for love, compassion, integrity, justice. All of these align with our faith, right? So all political parties believe that there should be justice, there should be compassion, but there are people that believe that you can put criminals in hotel and be giving them money with taxpayers' money and things like that. So in some countries, so a Christian will not be such a person. So I know it's a bit rough because politics is not a one-man business. It's not a one-man show. You have to work with people of different background, different culture. So it's a bit difficult in a multicultural setting to please everybody. As a Christian, I want to maintain a Christian view. But like I said, a political office is not a pastoral office. So you are not going to do everything as if you're a pastor. You still know that you are a political leader, a leader of the Christians, a leader of the Muslim, a leader of the Buddhist, a leader of the atheists, a leader of everybody. So, but ruling in the fear of God is very important. If we are ruling in the fear of God, even the atheists will be happy because God is fair, God is just. He made his sun to shine on the wicked and the good. So if a Christian like Daniel who reigned in Bible times under different leaders and he was able to survive, even though you see that he was hated at the point he was thrown into the lions den, at the point he was lied against, they said they should not pray and many things like that. So it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy for the righteous to walk in the midst of people. But if you are righteous, the difference will be clear. And if you don't win now, your time will come, you win. So, but what I say that the future is clear, the future is great and bright, and such people should continue to engage with political conversation, join a political party that align with your faith, participate in the conversation, build collaboration, attend meetings, you know, push forward the things you believe that are critical issues for your faith, things that contribute to the public discussion about family, about freedom for people, you know. Again, all of this has to be done respectfully. So, education, the church is not doing a lot in this regard because I believe that uh, the people that have anti-Christian views, they are educating their own the world their world more than the church is educating their audience. So most churches don't talk about politics. They don't see the reason to discuss about candidates and policies of political parties. But if we don't understand the implication of a part of the ideology that the political party is pushing forward, members will go and make wrong choices at the ballot, and we have leaders that are contradicting what the church is preaching about. So these are very serious issues, very, very serious issues. So the Bible says that my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. When you don't have the knowledge of political parties and the political candidates, and you go and just go and vote because the person is in your constituency, or the person is black, or the person is a woman, just that's how you are voting. Like they ask some people, why are you voting for this person? Say because she's a woman or because she's black. These are very unreasonable reasons because black is not a policy. Woman, gender is not a policy. Gender will not bring food to the table. Okay, so what will this person do about the economy? What is this person going to do about family? What would this person do about our faith as human beings that believe in have religious affiliation? So what's the impact on children? Okay, if a candidate want to cut the breasts of girls and turn them to boys, how moral is that? You know, if a candidate want to kill babies and give women permission to kill their children, do you think that resonates with your faith? That is it. That's a question for you to answer. You know, so we know the candidate that supports some of these things, and so as a Christian, if you're a Daniel, stay there, don't quit. Look for more Daniels because we need to be many. We need more Daniels in the politics. We need many of such Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that will stay. Okay, this is where we stand on this principle. They discuss it with their reasons. You know, the law is good. The constitution is good. If you look at the constitution of Canada or the one of United States, they are all good, but it's the people that are interpreting it. So if a righteous person wants to interpret Section 4 to his own advantage, is the way we're going to say it. The same way, if a bad person wants to do it, they know how to interpret it. If a good person wants to interpret it, we know how to interpret it. So, yeah, the future is bright, but it's not going to be easy. It will only be easy if we have many like-minded people in politics. And don't get me wrong, they don't have to be Christians. Morality is not a Christian religion. Morality is a human virtue. What is morally okay? That's what we're talking about here. And what is economically okay? What is okay in terms of education? In terms of immigration? What is okay and what is not okay? So if you are saying you are doing an immigration policy that is destroying everything, is that a moral thing? So as a Christian, there's need for some awareness, some education to be done across communities and churches so that Daniel can make a decision to stand for the right. Because it is in line of making these things clear that Daniel can know which party to join, that Daniel can know which candidate to vote for when the time comes for election. And that's when Daniel can even decide whether he should run for a position of authority by himself. So, yeah, so we need more Daniels in politics that will either be advocating, supporting the people that are pushing for the policies that they believe is right for governance, or if themselves want to contest for a position, they will already know that, okay, this is the problem I'm going there to solve. I want to go there to solve and to rule in the fear of God. So, and that will make people to know, okay, this person is different. This person is different. So when you look at the people that we are looking at as our leaders today, what are they telling us? What are they promising us to do? So that is something that I think is missing largely in many churches, and that's the reason why we are not seeing Daniels on the stage anymore, because most Daniels are preaching, most Daniels are doing Bible studies, but they are not in the political space. And you know, you don't make decision for the country in the prayer room, even though we can pray. But at the end of the day, those decisions are made in the parliament. The people that are in the parliament and the spirit that is working in them will prevail when they are signing documents. So we need people. It is easier to vote for them than to pray for them to change, in my opinion. So if we understand what is right and we do it, we won't have to be praying about it. It is when we have failed in the place of voting, we have to now resort to praying. So because election is a matter of numbers, and the Lord will help us in Jesus' mighty name. So I hope that's clarified the question as well.
Yes, it did. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. So, so this brings us to the last question I have on the table. Do we have any other question before we wrap up for today? All right. Thank you very much. So I think we meet again to talk more about some of these things. It's nice having. Thank you for having me, and thanks for your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Amen.
The answers
bless you.
very, very interesting. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes.